Ago, free agent point guard Chris Paul intends to sign with the Spurs after clearing waivers.
With the 4th pick, the San Antonio Spurs select Stephon Castle.
But I think bringing in Chris Paul, helping to show these guys what it's like to be a true professional.
So one of my favorite moves from the 2024 NBA offseason has been the San Antonio Spurs signing Chris Paul to a one-year deal. The Spurs desperately needed a veteran point guard in their locker room to help develop Victor Wembanyama and just get him the ball whenever he needs it. And what better player to do that for Wemby is the point guard himself, Chris Paul. All right, so we are here with the San Antonio Spurs. And like I said, this is one of my favorite signings of the offseason. And obviously there could be a way that Chris Paul just has some nice trade value at the deadline and they could get a heavily protected pick for him. But no, for today's video, I want to win a championship for Chris Paul. I want to get him a ring. He's doing a noble thing, taking $11 million, going to a state with no state income tax, and he's someone that can now be a mentor for Wembanyama. He can also help Trey Jones and Jeremy Sohan run the point at times as well, and their new rookie, Stephon Castle. So that means we basically have 2 years to win with Chris Paul, because if he retires at the end of this year, I can override it, but that only gives me one more year. And there's plenty of guys that I think should get minutes on this team, and they could not be done. They still have a little bit of cap space. I'm surprised the Spurs haven't been more active, to be honest with you, just because they had all this cap space, they had some draft capital, they traded away Rob Dillingham to basically the Timberwolves on draft night, which I thought was kind of interesting. So Wemby's gonna get like 36 minutes a night, and yeah, like Chris Paul can mentor Trey Jones. We're gonna have Zach Collins get a decent amount of minutes, just as a backup big. Stephon Castle is gonna get 20 minutes. I'm still a big fan of Malachi Branham, loved him a ton coming out of Ohio State. Also like their second round picks in Harrison Ingram and Juan Nunez as well. We could see if we can get anything out of former first round pick Blake Wesley this year too, and then we're just gonna play a ton to Jeremy Sohan, Vassell, and Keldon Johnson. So under Greg Popovich, system proficiency is 3-star defense. Yeah, it's not going to be great. We could have to make a corresponding move. I want to see what this team is doing at the trade deadline, and then we could see if we want to make a big move involving like Keldon Johnson's contract, maybe Zach Collins' contract. I want to win a title with maybe Devin Vassell, but we could move him. Obviously Wemby, like I said, I want to win it with Chris Paul. Stephon Castle is probably going to be on this team throughout the whole video as well. All right, so we're here at the trade deadline. We're 20-31. Honestly, for the Spurs though, that's not terrible for the team that won, what, 22 games last year? 22-60. So yeah, this team, I think actually has finished 22-60 for the last 2 years. Yeah, we're, I think, in a fine position. Chris Paul, you're killing me, man. I don't know if I'm going to be able to win a title with you putting up those numbers. Keldon Johnson's been fine. Vassell's been solid. There's Jeremy Sohan. Okay, nobody's really been super efficient outside of Wemby just putting up godlike statistics. Trey Jones off the bench, not bad, like not a bad backup guard. Stephon Castle, I'm wondering where we can get him in this. I mean, I don't really have to start Chris Paul. I can win a championship with him on the bench. I just need him in the rotation. Malachi Branham not doing too much. Zach Collins fine. Blake Wesley not doing too much either. So we do own the Atlanta Hawks first round pick unprotected this year, and we do own, I believe, the Bulls top 10 protected pick, but the Hawks right now are 29-22, so it's looking that pick is going to be definitely outside the top 10. So Chris Paul's probably going to retire at the end of the year, so I'm going to be able to or I'm going to have to override it and then bring him back. So I'm wondering if I want to move anybody here at the deadline. Trey Jones is going to be due for a new contract at the end of the year. Devontae Graham, we're going to get off that money, so we're going to have more cap to spend, and we could look to get a big name free agent for Wemby. And I'm going to do this trade with the OKC Thunder. They're looking just for some type of floor general off the bench. It looks like Nikola Topic isn't that for them right now, so we're getting the Sixers top 5 protected first round pick next year, and then we're also getting Kenrich Williams in this deal as well. So we're getting a little bit more draft capital to our collection right now. Like, we do have a Hornets lottery protected first. We should get the Hawks. Oh, those are going to be off by a year's. Yeah, all right, so I'll make sure I'll get those picks. We'll make sure those are accurate. And yeah, I'm okay with not making the playoffs this year, but then it's like, am I going to turn this team into a title contender next year? I'm not sure, to be honest with you, but I think in the offseason, when we have the cap flexibility and maybe the resources and obviously the 2025 draft to potentially move Keldon Johnson, we could get off of the Zach Collins contract. I think we're going to be okay. It's just basically, if I want to get Chris Paul a ring, it's going to have to be next season, which is obviously going to be pretty tough, but I think we're going to have to ride with that. Because, yeah, I don't think a team is winning a championship this season, so I'm cool with kind of losing games. We can get a better draft pick, and if I can add a Cooper Flagg or a Nolan Traore or an Ace Bailey to this roster immediately, they should be able to give us some good production. And then also we have some cap flexibility. Maybe Chris Paul will come on a little bit less money as well. I can get off the Zach Collins contract. Devontae Graham's a free agent. I can move Keldon Johnson, and I think we're going to be okay. All right, so Luka Doncic wins MVP this season. Alex Sarr is your Rookie of the Year for the Washington Wizards. Josh Hart, Sixth Man of the Year. Wemby Depoy. Most Improved goes to Jalen Johnson. Johnson, Clutch Player of the Year Jaylen Brown, and Coach of the Year is Joe Mazzulla. Luka Doncic is on All-NBA first team with Nikola Jokic. I'm trying to think who I could predict to win MVP next year. Jokic obviously is the chalky pick, but honestly, losing KCP, maybe they're not going to have the regular season record. We'll see. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander could make sense if the Thunder win 60+ games. I don't think it's going to be a Jason Tatum award. So I think it's between Shai, Luka, and then maybe Giannis as well, if Giannis just plays with a chip on his shoulder next year and they end up getting the 1 or the 2 seed, because we know he's going to have unreal stats. And Wemby, speaking of unreal stats, had those in his age 21 season, his second year in the NBA. All-NBA first team. Oh my god, we are goated with Wemby right now. And we do get Stephon Castle on All-Rookie first team, which is honestly a pleasant surprise, because those numbers aren't great right now, but I think we're going to be okay long-term. So, the Atlanta Hawks are in the play-in tournament. Hey, do you want to lose Atlanta to Milwaukee? That would be great. Okay, that is great for us. Come on, we need Miami to beat Atlanta, please. Damn it. All right, well, that pick's going to end up being 15th in the draft, or actually 16th or 17th, so maybe not the best in the world. Vassell, honestly, had a really good year. I wouldn't say really good year. It's a solid year. He's just not consistent enough on twos or attacking at the rim. Keldon Johnson, I think, played fine enough where he's going to have a decent trade market. Jeremy Sohan, I'm going to experiment with as well on the trade market, or as a backup next year. I don't think we can win a title with him starting. Chris Paul is going to be 40 years old. He's probably going to be our backup point guard. Can we win a title with Stephon Castle starting? I think defensively, yeah. I think Stephon Castle could actually do really good with an influx in minutes, which will come next year. So Shai wins Western Conference Finals MVP and Julius Randle in the East. And the Knicks end up winning the finals in 6 games with Julius Randle being your finals MVP. LeBron does retire, so does Chris Paul. LeBron did sign a 2-year extension with the Lakers today. We are going to override Chris Paul, obviously. So we're going to get 1 year left. And I want to get Chris Paul a ring, man. I want to get him a ring before he retires, but we're going to have to try to win a championship next year in the 2026 season, which is going to be tough. So that Charlotte pick's lottery protected. We're not getting that. I'm praying the lottery gods are here for us like they were in 2023 for the Spurs, and we can move up. Please, come on. Damn it. All right, we dropped from 7 to 8. That Hornets pick is number 4, but we could leverage that in a trade. We do get the Hawks pick at 16 from the DeJounte Murray deal, and we are here the night of the NBA draft. So we could look to move up. We could get a really good wing. Honestly, if VJ Edgecombe is there, I think that would be fine for us, because I'm probably going to be moving Keldon Johnson, so we're going to have some wing minutes opening up. So I'm really looking for a 3-and-D wing, or just somebody at the 4. And we do have matching salary that we can get out and get one of these guys. So Jimmy Butler could make sense, but he's a free agent, so we could wait. I gotta, I think I'm gonna wait till after the draft, because I could figure out what I want to do. I can move Keldon Johnson and John Collins for salary dumps, or I could end up getting a really good player in return. And honestly, Julius Randle could have made sense. I mean, he was so bad last year, but he won Finals MVP, right? Or Eastern Conference Finals MVP. So wait, did he win Finals MVP, or was it Shai? It was Julius Randle. That is crazy with those numbers. So I think we're going to stay where we are. If a player falls in this draft, I may leverage that future Bulls or Hornets pick to move up. The Raptors with the number 1 pick take Kaman Malak out of Duke. Wow. Okay. That is kind of crazy. Number 2, if it's not Cooper Flag, I was going to trade up. Okay. 3, Memphis is going to go VJ Edgecombe. He's off the board. Could we maybe make a trade with Charlotte? We can give them that pick back. I would give them 8. That pick back, or at least it removes the protections for it. They're going to move down a couple spots, and I will throw in 4 second rounders. I will give you 46 in this year's draft, and I will give you 3 future second rounders to move up 4 spots. Don't want to give you that first. I want to give you another second, and they are going to say no. Okay. We do have some players we could throw in. I mean, Harrison Ingram, second round pick in this past draft. I mean, we could throw in Julian Champagnie. Probably will get it done. That does get it done. So we just moved up to select. I mean, we could go Nolan Traore. Do we think him? I don't know if he could coexist with Stephon Castle. Could he play the 2 next year? Potentially. But I do want Stephon Castle to start for us. I mean, Dylan Harper could easily play the 2. Ace Bailey, though, I think is going to be the trade up. I think we're going to go out and try to get Ace Bailey, and he could play the 2 as well, and we could have a really, sizable wing duo with him and Devin Vassell. I love Nolan Traore in Washington. That's a great fit. Hugo Gonzalez goes 4. Dylan Harper goes 5 to the Jazz, or I was off by a couple picks, but Noah Essengay ends up going 8 to the Hornets. And we are on the clock here at number 16. I'm going to get Isaiah Evans out of Duke. He's an incoming freshman with Cooper Flag and Kaman Malak this year. So we're going to sign Bailey. We're going to sign Isaiah Evans. We're going to pick up everybody's team option. I'm going to see if we have cap space, see if we can actually legitimately get a free agent. I'm not getting LeBron, not getting Kyrie. Jimmy, like I said, I'm trying to go all in, and Jimmy doesn't have a ring either, so I could try to get Jimmy a ring. Wow, Evan Mobley regressed. He's down to an 86 overall. That is interesting. I mean, Jalen Green would be kind of fun because he could actually put up numbers, I feel like, in our system. Or we could get DeRozan back. Yeah, I mean, Jimmy, do we even have the cap to do so? No, we are in the negatives in cap space. And I got to bring back Chris Paul. Forgot about that. Wow, okay, Vassell, how do we have negative cap space? I guess because it's Collins, Johnson. Interesting. So obviously priority number one is Chris Paul. Okay, yeah, we have about 9 million in cap space right now. So yeah, we're going to look to bring back CP3, and then I'm going to look into the trade market. And I think I'm really going to try to figure out who I could put next to Wemby at the power forward spot. I mean, I would love to offer everything I can for Zion Williamson. Like, I will offer you Jeremy Sohan. I will also offer you Keldon Johnson and Zach Collins. So that's 3 rotational pieces for Zion. And I will give you my first round pick unprotected next year. And I'll give you this Bulls top 10 protected pick for Zion Williamson. They agree to that. All right. I'm glad I went after Zion. So Zion could be in rumors like down the line. I know the Rockets are continuing to monitor him, but I think that could be, oh my God. Bleacher Report, like any of these outlets would just fall in love with this front court because Zion, how popular he was at Duke coming into the NBA, how popular Wemby was coming into the NBA, and now we have them in the front court together. We're going to have Vassell and Ace Bailey on the perimeter and Castle running the show. We're going to I think we need to improve the bench, though, because it's very young right now. But let's first, like, make sure we get back Chris Paul. Okay, good. We got back CP3. That was the number one priority. And we do have a nice, like, kind of mid-level exception off the bench. We could get Corey Kispert and then move on from Malachi Branham. We do need a backup center, though. Ooh, I would like Isaiah Jackson. I think I'd prefer to get Isaiah Jackson. Would the Pacers match this? I mean, they just actually signed James Wiseman in real life, which I thought was kind of questionable. I guess that means they think they're going to lose Isaiah Jackson. And are we going to get him? Yes, we do. Okay, that's huge. And we're going to look for some shooting off the bench. I'm going to send Charles Bassey and Malachi Branham to the LA Lakers. Branham could develop into that guy, but I think Isaiah Joe will make more of an immediate impact from downtown next year as we're trying to get, like I said, Chris Paul a ring. We could still move Vassell at the deadline if we wanted to, but we're going to be relying a lot on like Ace Bailey and second-year man Stephon Castle. As LeBron goes back to the Lakers, Kyrie back to the Mavericks, Harden back to the Clippers, Mobley back to the Cavs. All right, so Wemby's up to a 95 overall. Zion's a 92, Vassell 83, Castle's up to an 80. Yeah, I think this team could win a championship next year. All right, so we definitely have the top 8 figured out. I'm trying to figure out who's going to get the 9th man spot. I think Isaiah Evans I'm going to send to the G League. I mean, I don't really have a lot of faith in Blake Wesley doing anything, so I think I'm going to send, or maybe play Kenrich Williams like 9 minutes a night, and then also Harrison Ingram, their second round pick out of UNC, 9 minutes a night, because if he's a good 3-point shooter, I think we'll be okay. And then for Stephon Castle, let's give him 30. Let's go about 32 to Vassell and Bailey, and let's go 36 to Zion and Wemby. Oh yeah, I am so excited about that front court duo. Isaiah Joe at the 6-man spot I think is going to be great, and then we have Isaiah Jackson, Chris Paul, Williams, and Harrison Ingram off the bench. And like I said, I'm going to send Isaiah Evans to the G League for the 2026 season. And yeah, we'll see how far this team can go. I hope it can win a championship, but we just got to at least get a good playoff spot or good playoff seeding. We do lose the first game of the season by 10 points. It's going to be a big year for Stephon Castle. I mean, he's off to a good start. Devin Vassell, that could be a piece. If Vassell is still going to be around the same level he was last year and doesn't improve with his efficiency, we are going to trade him. And I'm not going to wait till the deadline. I will trade him in November. I will trade him in December. Let's see how this team is looking on like December 1st. And if like Vassell, I think is like the missing piece that we can upgrade because we still have draft picks, I'm going to make a trade. All right, it is December 1st and we are 14-7. We are the 4th seed in the Western Conference. I just want to get in the playoffs. We're currently on a 5-game winning streak. We are 8-2 in our last 10. And if we get in the playoffs, anything can happen with this front court duo of Victor Wembanyama and Zion Williamson. Ace Bailey out of the gate. How about that? Yeah. I think it's time. We're going to trade Devin Vassell. He's still got good trade value, in my opinion, just off to a rough start. Chris Paul, you're killing me, man, but I think come playoff time, CP3 may only get like 10 minutes a night, but I don't care. A ring would be a ring. The Harrison Ingram, Kenrich Williams minutes have not been good either, so I think those are 2 spots we can upgrade. I don't really think there's anybody we can afford to sign. Like Sadiq Bey's in free agency. Yeah, we can only hand out the minimum. I mean, 5.75 mil for Sadiq Bey is pretty good. We're not going to be able to get Chris Paul. Taylor Horton-Tucker would be great, but yeah, we can only give out the minimums. What happened to Tristan Da Silva? All right, Orlando, really? So, I mean, we could see who's on the trade block. Yusuf Nurkic, Grayson Allen, Nasir Little. I don't know if there's going to be anybody, like, worth it right now. Karl Anthony Towns, who could have been somebody next to Wemby, that could have made sense. Jaden McDaniels is on the trade block. I mean, we could circle back on that. Like, would we do Vassell for Jaden McDaniels? I mean, that obviously improves our defense, so that could be something. Drew Holiday's on the block, but I think he's a little bit older for me right now. OG Anunoby's on the trade block, but I just don't think the Knicks would really want to do that. So, yeah, DeJounte Murray, Herb Jones is on the block. Why? RJ Barrett's on the block. I mean, that could still provide us some offense. All right, so let's see. And RJ Barrett's, like, for Vassell, like, their contracts will probably match up pretty evenly. Would I rather have RJ or would I rather have Jaden McDaniels? That's a big question. I think I'd rather have Jaden McDaniels. Could we pull off a Vassell for McDaniels type swap? Let's see, would they do this? They say no. I do have some draft picks. I don't know if they have roster spots to take on. Like, would you want a Harrison Ingram? No. Okay. Or they wouldn't be able to afford that. Let's give up the Sixers pick, right? Let's see if they'll do that. Still say no. I would be willing to throw in, not the Hawks pick this year. I'll throw in that swap from the Derek White trade back at the 22 deadline, and they agree to that. Welcome to the Minnesota Timberwolves, Jaden McDaniels. And I'm going to be sending Kenrich Williams, Harrison Ingram, and a second rounder to Chicago for Jalen Pickett and Grant Williams, who is going to slide in as our 9th man in the rotation, and we had a trade exception that we were able to get it done with. So yeah, Grant's going to play like probably 17 minutes a night with Isaiah Jackson, Chris Paul, etc. We are going to go 33 minutes to Jaden McDaniels, who's off to a very good start this season. Now this team defensively with McDaniels and Wemby's insane. Bailey's been great out of the gate as a rookie. And then we got Stephon Castle averaging 6 rebounds and 6 assists on okay efficiency. It definitely could be better. Let's see how this team performs until the deadline. All right, so we are here at the trade deadline with a 37-14 record. We are killing it, but there's still 2 teams better than us in the Western Conference, in the OKC Thunder and in the Dallas Mavericks. We are on a 4-game winning streak. Our offense is currently 4th in the West. Our defense is currently the best in the West, and we are 3rd best point differential. These are great point differentials. Like, the West is loaded at the top with the Thunder, Spurs, and the Mavericks right now. Wemby's averaging 24 points, 11 rebounds, 5 assists, over a steal, and 2 blocks a night, and less than 2 turnovers. Zion has been fantastic, 22 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists, elite efficiency. There's Ace Bailey, 16.5 points, 7.5 rebounds. Stephon Castle, 13 points, 7 rebounds, 7 assists. We'd like for the efficiency to be a little bit better, though. There's Jaden McDaniels, who's still been great since he came over. Isaiah Joe, wow, we bought low on him, and it really worked out. Chris Paul, honestly, solid efficiency coming off the bench. He would be averaging 10 assists per 36, which is kind of dope. Grant Williams has been great for us, and Isaiah Jackson, a rock-solid big. So, you know what? I don't think I'm making any trades. I think we're running with this team. It's Chris Paul's final year, and he's probably going to retire. Hopefully, we can get him a ring before it's all said and done at the end of the 2026 season. And Luka wins MVP this season after averaging a 27-point triple-double. Cooper Flagg, Rookie of the Year. Still can't believe the Raptors took Kamama Lock over him. Josh Giddey, 6th Man of the Year. Wemby gets deploy, so we have the best defender in the NBA. We have the most improved player in the NBA as well with Stephon Castle. Here we are. Wemby, All-NBA first team. Does Zion get on a second or third team? Unfortunately, he does not. I thought he would get there. Obviously, we get Wemby on all defensive first team. We get Castle and Bailey. Wow. Ace Bailey, already an elite perimeter defender. That is huge for us. That will offset the subpar 3-point shooting. Even though we were great this year, we did finish as the 2 seed. Wow, we leapfrogged the Dallas Mavericks. Wow, we ended up tying with them, but we had the tiebreaker. They do have a much better point differential. 1.3 points is a decent amount, but man, this team could definitely make a run. Let's see if we can. All right, so after the playing tournament stuff, we're taking on the Minnesota Timberwolves, the Devin Vassell Revenge Series. They also have Lonzo Ball in that backcourt with Anthony Edwards. They have Rob Gillingham, Liam McNeely, Killian Hayes, Nick Batum, some French legends off the bench. That is no slouch of a team. That is a really good team. I think for the playoffs, like, I'm just going to go like 15 to Chris Paul, 15 to Grant Williams, 15 to Isaiah Jackson. And yeah, we're going to play Wemby and Zion Williamson about 40 minutes a night. Game 1 goes to the Spurs. There we go. We end up winning by 11. McDaniels 19-7 against his former team. Zion played 32 minutes. I guess Isaiah Jackson obviously is eating in towards some of those minutes because, you know what, I should have him play backup power forward as well, which he is doing. Okay, so I hope he's eating into Wemby and Zion's minutes and they could stagger them. We do end up winning game number 2. Zion played 32 minutes, was so efficient in those minutes, and Wemby 34 points, 13 rebounds, and 4 assists, and we take a 3-0 lead. We beat him by 43 points. All right, 5 assists for Wemby. He had 21 points, and that was like tied for 3rd most on this team, and we end up sweeping the Minnesota Timberwolves, a good Timberwolves team as well. Yeah, just Zion and Wemby in this front court together is kind of sick. And the Lakers, oh my God, they beat the Mavericks for us. Thank you so much. D'Lo, Reeves, LeBron, Vanderbilt, AD. I mean, we should beat this team. Connect, Malachi Branham, Charles Bassey, Revenge Series. LeBron is 41 years old. Please, go be a family man. Game 1 goes to the Spurs. Oh my God, we won by 50. That is absurd. Game number 2 goes to the Spurs. We end up winning by 4. Ace Bailey fouled out. Zion fouled out. Castle had 4 fouls, and we still won. Game 3 goes to the Lakers, our first loss of the playoffs, and it was just by 1 point. Game number 4 goes to the Spurs. We're up 3-1. We end up winning by 6. Zion with 32 in 33 minutes. Wemby with 26, 9, and 7. And we end up winning in 5. 134, 125. Zion and Wemby combined for 57 points, as well as 24 rebounds and 11 assists. This duo may be the best front court duo we have seen in quite some time. Like, I'm talking better than the Pelicans front court with AD and Cousins that we saw for a brief stint back in like 2017-18 time frame. But we got to take on the Thunder here, who are a really good team. They have Rui Hachimura. They have Isaiah Hartenstein coming off the bench. They got Buddy Hield, Nikola Topic. Do they still have Trey Jones? Either way, we do win game number 1. No, they do not have Trey Jones still. 7 blocks for Wemby. Man, Wemby versus Chet in a playoff series is going to do numbers. Game 2 goes to the Spurs. We end up winning by 19 points. Wemby and Zion combined for 74. Oh my God, 72. I can't do math. Game 3 goes to the Spurs. Oh my God. I think I built a 2K cheat code team. Stephon Castle with a triple-double. And that's not even like the most important thing or the most impressive thing, because Wemby put up 40, 14, and 6. Game 4 goes to the Spurs. Oh my God, we are 12-1 in the playoffs with this team. Chris Paul. Oh, I'm so close to getting you a ring. We're going to be taking on, please give me the Bulls. Please give me the Bulls. Oh my God, it's the Chicago Bulls, who do have Alperen Şengün and Cooper Flag, LaVine, Javon Carter, but we should beat this team. I would have been a little bit scared of the Cavs. Game 1 goes to the Spurs, the DeMar DeRozan Bowl here. Wemby at 30, 11, and 6. We only won by 2. Game number 2 goes to the Bulls. All right, maybe I shouldn't take them too lightly. Like, Cooper Flag is obviously an elite defender already. Game 3 goes to the Spurs. We end up winning by 5. All right, Stephon Castle with a 25, 11, and 11 triple-double, and we are up 3-1. We end up blowing them out. Oh my God, let's go. Let's go. Chris Paul doesn't even ring chase. That's not even in his mind going to San Antonio. And you know what he's going to get out of his 2 years in San Antonio? A ring. And that is just going to make his Hall of Fame class, or his Hall of Fame case, even more, even though it's a guarantee he's in the Hall of Fame, but could elevate him in the all-time ranks. But I guess you guys could let me know in the comments, like, say Chris Paul did win a ring on the Spurs where he played 10 minutes a night off the bench. Obviously, it's not as impressive as if he won a ring, like, say, on the Clippers or on the Rockets, where he was the best or second best player on those teams. Like, obviously, Al Horford may have a Hall of Fame case now because he has a ring, but this ring, he was like the 6th most important guy on that Celtics team that just won a championship. It's not like he won it in his Atlanta days, as Patrick Williams is going to take a 3. That is no good. Kick it to Wemby. He's got 22, 7, and 5. Wemby inside, going right at Şengün. Oh my God, it's too easy. It's too easy with Wemby. We're up by 27. And we just got the substitutions in, and Chris Paul is on the floor. He's got 13 points and 5 assists, man. He's making an impact in his age 40 season. Why is he wearing number 8, 2K? That is unreal. Why is he wearing number 8? And him and Grant Williams working the pick and roll. Grant Williams is going to get a ring. Does he have a Hall of Fame case? Get Chris Paul an assist, Grant. Come on. All right, Isaiah Jackson, Chris Paul working the pick and roll. Let's alley-oop this. Come on, let's go. Isaiah Jackson throwing it down. And we are up by 24, and Chris Paul just picked up his 6th assist here in Game 5 of the NBA Finals. And we're going to get him a ring, man, which is just kind of insane. There we go. Grant Williams with a steal. Come on, can we get Chris Paul a bucket here? Come on, can we get Chris Paul a bucket? Step back. Oh, I'm not hitting that. No shot. We're also going to get City Sissoko a ring. Come on, one Chris Paul mid-range jumper. Come on to end it. Oh, man. What a better way to get Chris Paul a ring, man. Let's freaking go. And the Spurs win the 2026 NBA Finals, their first ring since the 2014 season. And the Spurs win it all with Victor Wembanyama winning Finals MVP, averaging 28 points, 13 rebounds, 5.5 assists, 2.5 blocks, over a steal a night, 54, 93, 41 splits. And Chris Paul is going to end up retiring with a ring. You just love to see it. And we're going to do one more year for fun in the post-Chris Paul era. We're going to see if we can go back-to-back with this team, a loaded Hall of Fame class with KD, LeBron, Chris Paul, and Russell Westbrook. Draft lottery time, we do own the Atlanta Hawks first-round pick. I did not see where they ended up. I guess they were a playoff team this year because that pick is going to be at 19. So you know what? If you're a Hawks fan, like, losing these picks in the late teens isn't the worst thing in the world. And, like, we're going to have Isaiah Evans into the fold next year. I think we're going to run most of this team back. I just got to figure out if I want a backup point guard now that Chris Paul is gone. And yeah, we're going to draft Jasper Johnson here out of Kentucky with the 19th overall pick. He could be our backup point guard. And yeah, the Heat get Cameron Boozer, Darren Peterson to the Pelicans, and AJ Debanta to the Sixers. We got Marvin Tatum, not Deuce Tatum, with the 58th overall pick. We're going to pick up the team options on Wemby and Stephon Castle. And Blake Wesley, sure, because that could be a trade piece. But I think we're fine, honestly. I don't know if I'm going to make any big moves with this team going forward. We do have a nice mid-level exception to use. Damn. I mean, Lonzo Ball would also be a pretty sick backup point guard. All right, let's see if we can get Lonzo Ball a ring. Let's do 3 years, around $30 million, $29 million. Let's do it. Why not? Let's get Lonzo Ball on the team. I can afford it. Player progression, Wemby's a 96, Zion's a 94, McDaniels is an 85, Bailey's an 84. Let's see if this team can go back-to-back. And we're going to have Stephon Castle, Ace Bailey, McDaniels, Zion, and Wemby be the starting 5 again. Lonzo's not going to play a ton of minutes because I do still want to play... Stephon Castle a decent amount. And then I think Isaiah Evans might actually get overshot. I don't know. Maybe we're going to run with these guys, and then we'll see if we want to put Evans or Jasper Johnson into the rotation, because I want to go 35 to the front court. Let's go 32 to McDaniels. Let's go 32 to Bailey. We can do probably about 30 to Stephon Castle this year, and then I got about 7 more minutes. We will throw those to Isaiah Evans, not Jasper Johnson, since we do have Lonzo Ball. 4-star defense. First game of the year is on the road against the Cameron Boozer-led Miami Heat team. We end up winning by 26. Great start for Ace Bailey. Not as much for Wemby. And this team is 42-8 in the post-Chris Paul era. Currently in the Western Conference, we are the 1 seed. We have a 7.5 game lead over the Thunder. Oh my God. We have a 22.8 point differential. No way it stays that high towards the end of the year. But that is actually absurd. Points per game wise, 7 over the next in the OKC Thunder, and defensively, oh my God, basically 8 over the next. That is absurd. The Wemby Zion front court is insane. And then you had an Ace Bailey, Stephon Castle, and Jaden McDaniels defense. Even with Isaiah Joe's like 2-point percentage being down this year, we're fine, man. Lonzo Ball, great pickup off the bench. Yeah, this team, I mean, we're going to win, I think, 64 plus games. And Victor Wembanyama is your MVP this past season. He averaged 26.7 points, 11.5 rebounds, 5.5 assists, over a steal and 2 blocks tonight. Unreal. Cameron Boozer's your rookie of the year. Jarris Walker, 6th man of the year. Wemby gets DPOY. Trey Johnson, most improved. And Cade Cunningham, clutch player of the year. Wait a second. Did we have 42 win? Wait a second. Did we have 42 wins at the trade deadline? Did we just go? Oh, wait. No way we just went on a 32-game winning streak to go 74-8. What? Wemby All-NBA first team. Oh my God. I gotta see this. Obviously, we're the 1 seed. Oh my God. What was our winning streak? 33 games. What? That is insane. Oh my God. Our point differential was 24.4. I know Wemby becomes like a cheat code in this game. Holy shit. I just built a God squad, I guess. We're just trading for Zion Williamson, drafting Ace Bailey, trading for McDaniels. I guess I made a lot of moves. The only OG Spurs basically are Wemby, Stephon Castle, and that's really it. Blake Wesley's still on the roster, but he's not playing. Oh my God, that is unreal. This team should go 16-0 in the playoffs. We just went 74-8. We finished the year on a 33-game winning streak, and we sweep the Jazz in round number 1. I mean, yeah, we should be blowing out every single team that we face in the playoffs. If we're going to have a point differential like that, we should be the 2017 Warriors. We beat the Mavericks in 5 games in round number 2. I can't believe that. That is unreal how good the Wemby Spurs teams could be. And we sweep the Thunder. Oh my God. Wemby with 30, 10, and 7. Paolo's your Eastern Conference Finals MVP. Spurs and Magic here in the NBA Finals. The Trey Jones Revenge Series. The Jeremy Sohan Revenge Series. Okay, Jeremy's still playing well. Oh my God, we should sweep them, right? We just went 16-1. Damn it, I couldn't go 16-0. But we just had an insane season. So 16-1 in the playoffs, 74-8 in the regular season. We just went 90-9. 90-9. Oh my God. Oh my God. You had a 7th and 8th seed. You had no match for the 1-seeded San Antonio Spurs, who just went 90-9. That's unreal. How much did we dominate in the playoffs? Yeah, we had a 19.4 rating differential in the playoffs. By far the best defense. By far the best offense. Wow, that is insane. What did we shoot in the playoffs? Did we have like some really good efficiency? We shot basically 50% from the field, Nice. 17 game sample size. We shot 35% from 3 in a 17 game sample size. Or excuse me, it was 36% from 3. 81% from the line. Yeah, it's kind of insane how good this team was. I'm still in shock. So yeah, that is going to be for me. Hope you guys did enjoy the new look San Antonio Spurs rebuild with their new rookie Stephon Castle and an NBA legend in Chris Paul who signed their way. Let me know if you guys did enjoy by dropping a thumbs up. I probably will do a much longer rebuild with, like, I guess Wemby and the Spurs next when I do one, maybe in 2K25 or still in 2K24, where we're probably going to move Chris Paul at the deadline to a contender and really build this team even more stacked throughout the young core. But getting Zion and Wemby was unreal. So yeah, thank you all for watching. I love you guys, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.